A Brazilian street artist is getting a lot of attention after he posted some street art near a school, basically drawing attention to the issue of poverty in the country and how authorities in the country are focusing all of their money toward the World Cup. Now, they are going to host the World Cup this year, and they're planning on spending $13.3 billion. And that's a significant amount, especially when you consider the fact that 1/3 of Brazil's population is living in poverty. They're either living in favelas or other poor rural parts of the country. And so I want to show you the piece of art that he posted. Again, this is street art, and I think that it really resonates with a lot of people that are living in poverty in the country. That's the reason why this story has gone viral and people are all talking about it. Another thing to take into consideration is that a number of people that live in favelas are being relocated in order to make room for the World Cup, and people are upset about that. So it kind of brings up a really interesting topic, something that we talk about here in the United States with income inequality, wealth inequality. Similar things are happening in Brazil, and welfare programs aren't really doing much to help it. So what do you guys think about it?
Well, I think obviously in many ways it's obvious that poverty is worse in Brazil than in America, but I think we have to give Brazil some credit over the past 15 years or so. They have occasionally had sort of movements towards helping the poor. They've been doing some things to help them, but it's difficult for people to remember that and think, look how much they're doing for us, when they see just the sheer tsunami of money that's being put into a sporting event. Yeah. It may be the national sport, but when your family's going hungry, it doesn't really help.
So I was looking into their economic policy a little bit, and the president prior to the current president, and that's of course Dilma Rousseff, he had actually created a policy where he would give poor families money. It was like basically welfare, as long as they promised to stay out of the drug trafficking situation that they have there, and as long as they promised to send their children to school. And that actually did help with the poverty. So policies like that have worked. So I like that you brought that up. And the current president has issued an expansion to the welfare program there. They have avoided the bus fare hikes, which of course that was a big story last year because there were mass protests. People were really upset with the infrastructure there, the fact that they were paying even more money for a system that doesn't work well. And also they've been importing doctors from Cuba because they've been having issues with their healthcare system. So they have been working on a few things, but the people of Brazil feel that it's just a veneer. They're not doing enough to solve the issue.
Yeah, all countries do horrible things, everybody, us included, and these sporting events shine light on it often. I mean, just look at the Olympics that we just had in Sochi. They were doing horrible things to gay people. Russia has all kinds of human rights stuff. Look at everything that's going on with them now. So sometimes I think somehow some good comes out of this because some light is shined on it, and then people can figure out ways to help. So with the gay thing in Russia, it brought a lot of attention. I don't know that much has changed, but at least it's in some sort of it's in some worldwide discussion actually. Yeah. So I hope something like this, we do get to pay a little bit more attention because it's not just what's happening on the soccer field, it's the stuff that's happening literally across the street.
So this is obviously perfectly applicable to what's happening in Brazil right now, but honestly, you could take that image and put it almost anywhere in the world. We spend insane amounts of money just in the US on our professional sports. Poverty is not as bad, it's not as crushing in the US as it is in Brazil, but there are a lot of kids going hungry in the US every single day, and yet we spend hundreds of millions of dollars to build new stadiums to replace older stadiums that aren't good enough anymore.
John,
we spend all this money.
Those billionaire owners, they need tax subsidies and they need public funding to build those stadiums. They do.
Sterling is hurting, I think.
That guy, he deserves another stadium.
Yeah. One final thing that I want to say about this is, it shows you how important art is in some cases. They make political statements, they start conversations, and I don't think that street artists get enough credit because a lot of street artists do produce work that's political in nature, and getting a conversation started, changing the discourse in a country is really, really important. So I love that he did this. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be discussing poverty in Brazil. So big ups to street art, something that I absolutely love and support. So.